Hi, Kimberly here from Make Me a PT. So now we are going to go over the food diary analysis, okay? So here is exactly what we need to do. So this is your step two of your client case study, okay? So once you've selected your client who is fit, well, and healthy, then step two, you're going to ask them to to fill out a 7-day food plan, okay? So this is what ours looks like, okay? Yours might look a little bit different if you're not with us. So with us, we've got exactly the meal that they've had, for example, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, water, drinks, and exactly what they've had, as in like portion size, calories if known, and if they are full. And then at the end, it's asking, how do you feel? Are you happy with your day? What's your exercise and steps? Like I say, yours might look slightly different from this, and that's absolutely fine. So what you need to do is ask your client to fill in a 7-day 7-day diary and make sure that they feel comfortable to do so, and be as honest as possible. We can only help people if they are 100% true, because we know sometimes people might put a little bit of like lie in there, we know. But if you can make them feel comfortable and don't judge them, don't feel like they're going to be judged or anything like that, because ultimately they need to feel comfortable with you as well. Okay, so if you can ask them to fill out a 7-day food analysis, and then food diary, and then you can analyze it. Okay, so here in the preparation, so during the course, you will need to analyze your client's nutrition in relation to their goals using the food diary. So it is unique to them. Okay. To prepare for this, you'll need you to get as the goals, eating habits, any objectives, which you will do as well. You need to find out if they need or if they want fat loss, is it muscle growth, is it for an event? Again, that makes a difference. And then you need to provide them with a template. So this is our template. We will give this to our students, and so then they can just provide this and on. And then after they've completed the food diary, you then need to have a look over it, check to make sure that they've given as much detail as possible. And then what you need to do then is to review it. So you'll need to review the client's food diary to identify any eating or drinking behaviours that are detrimental to the client's health, and any possible eating behaviours that the client should continue with. And then here, what you'll need to analyse is, for example, water, alcohol, caffeine, processed food, nutrients. And then here, recommendations. So after you've had a look at that, you should then recommend the eating behaviours the client should change to their goals, recommend clients how they could tailor their nutrition to meet their goals, and identify potential barriers for the client as well, and then identify how the training will affect this, including recommendations related to the client's goals. So with that in mind, again, it can feel like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And again, with us, we exactly have this here. So we have, for example, so once you have your client's analysis, you can go, right, let's have a look. What are the eating habits? What is it they want to do? What do they want to achieve? And then at least then in there, you can literally write in what you have kind of spotted. And at least then once you start to write it down, you're filling in your findings, and then you can then look to see if there's any patterns. You can have a look to see if they're not drinking enough water. You can see about the alcohol consumption, caffeine consumption, all things like that as well. And again, with us, we like a good little cheat sheet. So for example, we've even put in there like understanding good fats, bad fats, like the difference between high calories and then too little calories as well, because you've got to understand both as well. You can have too many calories or too little calories as well. And then again, in the little cheat sheet, it's all explained just to make it a little bit more easier. Any barriers, so it could be time, cost, habits. Again, so it's not giving you the answers, but it's giving you the opportunity to look out for these and to spot it, because sometimes when you're looking, you think, oh my goodness, it's a lot. As well as this, so this is behind everyone. For us, for example, we have for you to fill out for your client, so you knowing exactly what to look for. It tells you exactly like how much protein you should be having, how much fruit and veg you should be having. Again, so you can have a look at that as well. Again, here is a different cheat sheet. So that's the analysis, and then we have also created a cheat sheet. So, for example, one of my learners last week, she looked at it and was like, a little bit like, can you help me look over it? And I was like, yeah, straight away, have a read through it. What are you seeing? And she said, I can see that they're not having enough protein. Brilliant. So what we need to do is understand what too low protein is, ideal range, and too high. So again, if you're looking at a plan and thinking, right, okay, they don't have enough protein in there, then you can then give them help and advice how to get more protein in and what proteins to be having. We created a vegan and vegetarian protein sheet. So if any of our learners case studies not have are vegetarian or vegan, they can say, oh, I've got a list for you here of proteins that will really help make sure you're getting your proteins in. Again, it goes over carbs. If you're looking at someone and they're having too many or too little, they then know how to analyze it and tell them specifically how to change it. But remember, it's just analysing them and making sure you're giving them exactly what they need. It's giving them the recommendations. So as long as this bit here is all met, then on your LAP, they will be ticked off and say that you have completed this section. But again, it's making sure that do love a cheat sheet. Yeah, there's loads of stuff in there. Again, just to make sure that when you're analysing, you don't feel overwhelmed. You know exactly what you're looking for. And then you can move on to the next step. I hope that helps. If you do have any questions and you're not a student of ours, but do still want some help and support, please let us know. And if you are a student and you still want a bit of support, give us a quick email, get on the phone, and we'll support you further. Hope that helps. See you on the next video.